Οπ, σχεδόν η μουσική δεν σταμάτησε να παίζει καθόλου. Καλημέρα. Καλή πώς είστε. Πώς τα περνάτε. Κυριακή πρωί. Νύστα. Δηλαδή δεν έχω πιει καφέ ακόμα. Δεν έχω πιει ιδιαίτερο νερό. Το οποίο δεν με ακούτε το λέω συχνά. Γεια σου Μάκη, γεια σου Πύρονα. Τι κάνετε, πώς είστε. Αλτάμπντε. Το UI το ψηλό έκλασε επειδή έκανε αλτάμπ. Βασικά αλτέντερ. Όχι αλτέντερ. Οι φήμες λένε ότι θα είναι λιτό, ολιγόλογο και πιπουλάτο και κυρίως λακωνικό το παιχνίδι αυτή τη φορά. Weird. Κάτσε να φέρω το chat από εκεί. Ή... όχι μωρέ, δεν θα έχουμε τσατάκι σήμερα. Μισιόνες. Εκεί πάμε. Where's the map? Αλεστά. Τι έχουμε εδώ? Τι ακούγεται έτσι ρε μαλάκα? Τι έρχεται?
What's that, Pom-Pom?
Just got a message from the Xianzhou La Fu. Looks like it'll conflict with our original schedule.
It's been a while, my friends on the Astral Express. How's your trailblazing expedition going?
It's been a while. Θεωρητικά δεν είχαμε μιλήσει μαζί του 2 μέρες πριν γιατί είχαν έρθει στην Πενακόνη.
Soon, the Xianzhou Luofu will be holding the Luminary War Dance. Those who have aided the Luofu in overcoming the crisis are cherished allies of the Xianzhou. Thus, on behalf of the Seat of Divine Foresight, I'm extending an invitation to attend the ceremony. Your presence would be greatly appreciated.
Φαγητό ποτό!
Wow, things aren't getting lively.
Τι
We've
εντόπισα?
barely recovered from the family's Charmony Festival, and we're already being invited to another special event.
Wow. Μισό γιατί μόλις εντόπισα ότι δεν έχω κάποιο fixed screen capture για το Honkai.
Yeah, me too. But wait, won't it look unprofessional if we attend 2 ceremonies in a row? Aren't we supposed to be focused on restoring astral charts and doing some serious scientific exploration?
Τι έπαθες Μάκη? Όλα καλά? Τι συμβαίνει? Γιατί φωνάζεις?
So we should leave March behind to take care of the express?
No!
Hey, that's not what I meant. I'm all for some fun. I just hope there won't be any surprise party crashers, like Friday or Saturday.
The Xianzhou Luofu has recently overcome a crisis. By holding the war dance, they're demonstrating to everyone that they've returned to a state of peace and safety.
But that's what everyone said before we went to Penacony. You'll be totally safe under the family's protection.
Στο stream δεν είχα βάλει να πιάνει συγκεκριμένα το παράθυρο του Honkai.
No need to worry. The war dance is not like the Charmony Festival with all its hidden secrets. It's just a festival to honor the Rainbow Arbiter and the Cloud Knights, who fought against the abominations of abundance and protected the Xianzhou ships. Aside from star skiff performances, it's mostly martial contests. Nothing too different from the Taiki and Roboball contest we've seen before.
What do you think, Himiko? Since we've accepted Miss Black Swan's proposal, we should probably head to Amphorius for refueling.
There's certainly no rush. This trailblazing expedition is quite unique, and the Express needs to be fully stocked and prepared before moving on to the next stop. With Madame Herta's help, I was planning to deliver some Leviathan fossils from Kalinga Abyss to Ron May, member 81 of the Genius Society. It could earn us some favors before we set off. However, it may take a few weeks.
Aw, so that means we're not going to the Lawfu.
Being an adult means maintaining relationships, whether we like it or not, Marge. Since we've been invited, it's only right for the Astral Express to attend the ceremony. So here's the plan. Pom Pom will take everyone to the Xianzhou Lawfu. Mr. Yang and I will meet up with Ron May and fulfill our promise. Meanwhile, you, March, and Don Hung will represent the Express and attend the war dance.
What do you two think? I don't hear any objections.
Now that everyone's on board with the plan, it's time to work to the Xianzhou Lawfu.
Η Πόμπομ έπαθε ένα μικρό κεφαλικό. Καθαρίσουμε λίγο το χειριστήριο, γιατί... Όχι, γιατί έχει κάτι. Όχι, γυναίκα σε καλή κατάσταση. Αλλά ένα μικρό πλησιματάκι και πού το τραβάει η ψυχία του. Κάνα κουμπάκι. Μάκη, τι να κάνω jump. Δεν έχει jump στο Honkai, δεν πηδάει ο χαρακτήρας. Κάνει αλματάκια. Hop, δεν παίζουμε Genshin Impact. Ναι, ξέρω, δεν ήταν επιτυχημένο. Έλα πήγε το καθάρισμα. Παιδιά, είναι Κυριακή ή είναι πρωί. Train jump. Μπερδεύτηκα ρε Μάκη, δεν το πιάσα. Έχεις δίκιο.
Himiko really knows how to convince people. Between Leviathan fossils and the
Η Χίμικο σας παίζει όλα τα δάχτυλα.
that definitely sounds more fun. By the way, Don Hung, this time you'll be taking a stroll with us on the Lawfu, right?
And just let you two wander around aimlessly on the Lawfu by yourselves? I don't think so.
Ναι, είμαστε καλά που σου φτιάξαμε λίγο τη φήμη εκεί πέρα.
Plus, Mr. Yang is right. The Ambrosial Arbor crisis just ended, and both the long-life and short-life species are still feeling uneasy. And that's why Jing Yuan wants to organize the war dance, to show that the Xianzhou Luofu is stable and safe. And since he has extended an invitation, it's only right that I visit my old friend.
Coming back to this place brings back so many memories. You know?
Με λιγότερο από 5.000 κείμενο στο σημερινό stream θα ζητήσω τα λεφτά μου πίσω. Καλημέρα σου, Πιστούλη.
Hey, I'm not actually gonna recite a poem.
Ω, Θείο Τζον. Καλημέρα,
About all the
καλημέρα.
twists and turns
Τι
we went
κάνεις,
through when
πώς
we
είσαι?
first arrived on the Xianzhou. This time we're not being forced or enticed or chasing after wanted
Τι λέει,
criminals.
προς τα αγάπη του Θεού.
And we didn't have to sneak in through the cargo dock.
Μιας και μιλάει.
This trip has been incredibly smooth. Quite unusual, I must say. Such is the fate of us nameless, I suppose.
Μην ξεχάσετε να πάρετε μέρος στον τροχό και να πατήσετε και ένα ωραίο τι έχω βάλει. Πώς το έχω βάλει το άλλο? Δεν θυμάμαι τι έχω βάλει στο stream. Το Fantasy Festival 24. Έχουμε και μεγάλο τροχό και 4 προσκλήσεις για το Fantasy Festival του 24. Young King. Okay. I saw the Skyfaring Commission notice. Δεν θα παίξουμε ξύλο αυτή τη φορά με τον πιτσιρικά. Πάλι καλά. Έχουμε πάρει μέρες, λέει. Κλείωσε το τώρα για να έχουμε καλύτερες πιθανότητες.
Yenqing said General Jingyuan sent him to welcome us, but where is he?
Let's wait for him in front of the loom. It's the most prominent landmark on the dock.
Hey, you guys! Hold on a moment.
Θα
Did they
πέσει τι
just
θέλει.
call us? Look at their outfits. They're from Penacony, right? Are you familiar with the Xianzhou Lafu?
Κάτι ψηλά.
We know a little bit about it. What do you need?
We're from Penacony. Maybe
Άστο
you've
για.
heard of it.
Δεν το
We
περίμενα.
came to this ship to gather interesting materials for making dream bubbles.
Oh, we just left there. Oh, talk about coincidence.
That's great. Do you know any must-see attractions on the Luofu?
Exactly. We're Xianzhou
Και
experts.
αφήνει τον Dang King να τα πει.
Most of the tourists around at the moment are here to attend the war dance. And that's why we're here too.
Yeah, we know about that ceremony. But isn't the fighting ring still closed?
I've heard the ring was actually converted from a huge decommissioned Luofu fighter jet.
Η αλήθεια είναι το fighter jet το μεσαίο, το οποίο πρέπει να είναι fighter, αρμάντα, όχι αρμάντα μαρακέβα. Μεγάλο πλοίο τέλος πάντων, Juggernaut, Dreadnought. Παιδιά είναι ωραίο.
The radiant feldspar is bigger, I guess.
Μάκη, ελπίζω να μην ξανακάνουν quest με τόσο μπλα μπλα όσο το πενακόνι. Ωραίο, ωραίο. Πολύ, πολύ. Τουλάχιστον πάλι κανένα fighter, παιδί μου. Κρατάει περισσότερο. Σπάς το παραπάνω το μπλα μπλα. Άσε μας να κάνουμε κανένα pose.
Okay,
there are no
unique
pose.
experiences
No
that
pose,
you won't find on Penacony. Our clients love these kinds of dream bubbles the most.
You're the expert here. Give them some suggestions.
Fixed Troll Garden. Ξεκάθαρα Fixed Troll
Oh
Garden.
yeah! Fixed Troll Garden! It's famous for supernatural stuff. With those mischievous heliobi floating around. It's pretty fascinating.
Supernatural? I don't really like scary things, but our clients will love it.
Ooh,
Ξεκάθαρα.
it does sound interesting. Let's go check out Fixed Troll Garden. Maybe we'll bump into each other there.
Look, Yenqing's here.
Really? Let's go catch up with him.
Γρήγορα να τους φύγω τους μαλάκες.
There you are. Everyone, this way. Hey, everyone. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long since we last saw you. But, Yenqing, are you?
What's up, Miss March?
They say kids grow up really fast. Yenqing, are you a little bit taller than before?
We've only been away for a few months.
Really? The General is always worried I won't grow much taller. But I keep telling him not to worry about it. Sorry for the delay. With the upcoming war dance in the Star City.
Καλημέρα Νικολέτα. Ποιος Νικολέτα? Χωνέψαμε το φαγητό Νικολέτα. Αυτό που φάγαμε την Παρασκευή.
Seriously, I've never seen the Luofu so lively before.
Την τελευταία φορά ήταν που είχαμε έρθει και είχαμε αράξει λόφου. Υπήρχε ένας μικρός χαμός.
I was a bit worried that holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis might be too soon. But seeing the bustling Starskiff Haven, I understand why General Jing Yuan chose this timing.
Yep. There's people from other delves and travelers like you three who have come from afar.
Το τρίτο option που δεν πάτησα είχε voice over και throwback στο πενακόνι. Όταν μίλαγα με τους άλλους,
With the war dance coming up, there's a huge number of visitors pouring into the Starskiff Haven. The Cloud Knights are working hard to keep the security tight. The general said this ceremony would help the Xianzhou Luofu recover from the crisis. It's a way to showcase our martial spirit, reassure people, boost morale, and attract visitors from other planets to
αν
promote
πατούσα
trade
του
and
Γιάννη
peace.
Σινκ το μάγουλα θα είχε backstory πίσω στο τέτοιο. Θα είχε throwback πίσω στο πενακόνι. Γιατί? Πώς στάσαμε εκεί? Παιδιά, πώς το συνδυάσαν αυτό?
By the way, the Xianzhou Alliance places great importance on this ceremony too. The Xianzhou ships, the Zhuming and the Yaoqing, have both sent messengers to offer their blessings.
Οκ. Θα το δω μετά στο YouTube.
Yeah, I wonder if you've heard of it. It's known as the Star Forge, and it's responsible for providing more than half of the Cloud Knights' armaments. The Xianzhou Zhuming boasts skilled craftsmasters.
Δεν είναι Zhuming,
General
είναι
Lan is a top-notch
Zhuming.
craftsman himself. If only I could get a sword forged by him, I'd be on cloud 9.
By the way, Yanqing, where are we headed next?
I'm sorry for talking your ear off. The general wants to catch up with you at the Palace of Astron. He's been eager to hear about how the Express has been doing.
Σιγά μην είναι και Zhuming.
It's funny how he tries to act all mature, but whenever it comes to something he's interested in, you can really see his childish side.
I agree.
All units, assemble quickly! Get ready to protect the crowd!
I just mentioned security, and now all of a sudden something's gone wrong. Excuse me, I need to go check out the situation.
Hey.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Ωπα λατρεύω να πειράζω τη Μάρς. Hey!
We'll go with you.
Protect the civilians. I'll deal with him.
Okay. Enemies with this mark can enter the Moon Rage state. After enemies use attacks, apply one stack of bloodlust to enemy units that can trigger Moon Rage. Οπότε παίρνουν πόντους.
Borison? Why are there Borison here? This ends now.
Support
Another journey
received.
begins. On the still waters of oblivion.
Like fireflies to a flame, until everything burns to ashes!
Ας το ας. Δεν έχω αρκετά skill points.
This is more than a battle.
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
You don't look so good.
Yep, they don't. Και τώρα θα φαίνονται και ακόμα χειρότερα.
It too shall fall.
Καλημέρα. Ω, κλωτσίδι. Α!
Thanks for the help.
Sorry, no time to chat. Could you give me back my...
Ναι, του είπα για το σπαθί. Εν τω μεταξύ, ποια είναι η πλάκα. Του φάγε το σπαθί έτσι και το πήγε αυτό στο Τζιν Γκιουάν. Παίζει να γελάει ο Τζιν Γκιουάν για μια κατοστάρα χρόνια.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we'll have to put our plans on hold for now. I need to find out what's going on.
Άντε πάλι.
While we appreciate your rescue, my Cianjo friends, don't you think it's a bit too much to detain us and our cargo?
Sorry, but we've been ordered to detain you and your cargo for inspection until we figure out the source of the attack. Once we're done with the formalities, we'll let you and your cargo go.
Oh, but this shipment isn't even meant for the Lafu, and it's IPC's patented technology. Who do you think you are to conduct an inspection?
According to the protocol, all cargo arriving on the Lafu must go through inspection.
Yep, ήρθε ένα μικρό αντικείμενο που δεν έπρεπε να έρθει την προηγούμενη φορά. Ας αυξήσουμε λίγο την ασφάλεια. Μπράβο.
But we didn't officially enter your dock at all. We just sought refuge in your dock because we were attacked by the Borisons.
Looks like this argument could go on forever. Let's not get involved in a heated dispute that won't lead to a resolution.
Αυτό είναι σαν να σου λέει, παιδιά, μπλεχτείτε.
Who's in charge here? I need some answers.
It's my fault. We let our guard down for a moment. I take full responsibility.
With the war dance approaching, safety should be a top priority. Now, tell me, how did Borisin prisoners end up in Starskiff Haven? According to the protocol, Borisin prisoners should be held on a Starskiff and taken directly to the shackling prison under strict supervision without ever touching the ground. Who allowed a prisoner transport ship to dock at the passenger terminal?
Please don't blame this captain. This incident involves the Ju Ming's diplomatic vessel.
Who are you?
I'm Lu Jun, an officer of the Patrol Defense Squad. Thank you for your help, Lieutenant Yenqing. The situation unfolded rapidly and it shouldn't be held against the captain. Here's what happened. An IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin just before arriving, and the Ju Ming's diplomatic vessel came to the rescue. They fought off the Borisin pirates and imprisoned them on their ship.
So, an IPC ship was attacked by the Borisin near the Lafu.
Καλημέρα, Ανδρέα.
Ju Ming
Καλώς ήρθες.
envoys saved them?
Honestly, it gives me a headache too. The Ju Ming diplomatic ship, adhering to standard procedure, docked at the passenger terminal to hand these criminals over to the Lafu. You know, with all the outsiders flooding onto the Lafu, the Starskiff lanes are under immense pressure. The Borisin desperados decided to put up a fight before the prisoner transport Starskiff could get there. And that's what you just witnessed.
We'll make sure these prisoners are sent to the shackling prison as soon as possible.
Ο ένας που να πάει ρε μαλάκες. Πήγε ένα σπαθί 20 εκατοστά μονάχα το πλάτος και το μαχαίρωσε, ας πούμε, στο στήθος. Πού να πάει?
I see. It's an unusual situation indeed. I'll report it to the security department of the Realm Keeping Commission and ask for their cooperation in handling.
Ναι, αυτό δηλαδή. Πού να πάει αυτός? Αυτό ρε μαλκί. Δηλαδή, άμα σου κοθεί μετά από αυτό, το αξίζει να πάει να αφήσουν ελεύθερο, να σκοτώσει κόσμο. Τι να πω? Δεν σηκώνεις από αυτό.
Maybe I should gather more details from others so that the seat of divine foresight can have a better understanding of the situation.
Άγια θάψιμο κατευθείαν.
Much maturer now, Yenqing.
Please don't tease me, Miss March. The situation on the Cianjo before the war dance is like a calm lake that can be disturbed by even the smallest pebble. Capable of generating far-reaching ripples with even the slightest disturbance.
Έχει γίνει λίγο πιο σοβαρός Τζιν Γιουάν.
What are those people? I mean, those monsters we just dealt with.
Yeah, those werewolf monsters are known as Borisin. They're abominations of abundance, and we've been fighting them for a very long time. The Borisin have been a powerful force for a long time, plundering and enslaving many worlds. The threat they pose is just as terrible as the Swarm disaster, and the Alliance even had a fierce war with them 3 decades ago.
30 χρόνια πριν.
Their presence has faded over the years, but who would have thought?
According to that officer, they attacked an IPC ship near the Senjo Lofu. Such a brazen attack seems quite unusual to me.
Βρε, γεια σου Κώστα.
Yeah, that's what I find strange too. It seems like the IPC and the Borisin have some serious grudges. Well, enough with the chit-chat. The General wants me to take you to the Palace of Astrum. I'd love to chit-chat a little longer, but there are some things that can't be left unchecked.
Is it a serious matter? Maybe you'll need our help in hunting down the Borisin?
Η Μάρτς προσφέρεται να βοηθήσει έτσι.
Thank you, but it's no big deal. By the way, that young lady who just appeared, she took my sword. I'm thinking of filing a lost property report at the Realm Keeping Commission to see if I can get it back.
I doubt she did it on purpose. Perhaps she's around here somewhere. Shouldn't we take a look?
Όχι.
All right, let's not keep the General waiting.
Don't worry. There aren't many people out there with that kind of talent. It shouldn't be too hard to find her.
Όπου η τύπισσα τον εκτέλεσε τον Μπόρισιν, λες και δεν ήταν τίποτα, έτσι.
There sure are a lot of troublemakers around.
Δεν μ' άρεσε ο Λουτζούν. Yes, Todd. Dear Todd.
Success.
Ω, και χείλ.
It's been a long journey, Elder Hwayan. Thank you for your presence.
Don't mention it. Thank you for taking the time to welcome me.
Δεν είναι σαν να περπατάει διακριτικά η Firefly.
General, I brought our guests from the Express. Oh, I'm sorry for my bad timing. I didn't know you were meeting a guest, General.
Don't worry, you're just in time. It's been a while, my friends from the Astral Express.
Μιλάγαμε πριν από 2 μέρες!
Oh. Well, it's an
Δεν ήταν ακριβώς το ίδιο όνειρο, αλλά το ίδιο όνειρο, αλλά τέλος πάντων το αφήνουμε να περάσει λίγο στον τούρκο.
Allow me to introduce you to General Hwayan. He's the Arbiter General of the Xianzhou Zhuming, known as the Flaming Heart.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a tourist here, no different from other tourists who've come to attend the ceremony.
Όχι ρε, μιλήσαμε. Μην ξεχνάς ότι στο aftermath του Πενακόνη πήγε ο Τζιν Γιουάν για να μπορέσουν να πάνε στη φυλακή το τέτοιο να. Για να κανονιστεί η όλη φάση.
Elder Hwayan is not only one of the Arbiter Generals, but also the Furnace Master of the Artisanship Commission. Besides his martial skills, he excels in forging various weapons. Such talents are unique, even among.
Όχι ρε, το ολόγραμμα ναι, θυμάμαι ότι ήταν ολόγραμμα που και καλά έσκασε όλος ο στόλος που πώς κατά έσκασε όλος ο στόλος του Λουόφου να πούμε μέσα στο όνειρο καλημέρα. Αλλά ναι, όχι λέω για μετά, για το epilogue. Δεν έχουμε, 2 μέρες έχουμε να τα πούμε. Πού λες? Α, όχι ρε. Το τρένο ήταν η πρόσκληση. Όχι, δεν εννοούσα αυτό, δεν εννοούσα.
Be it Arbiter General or Furnace Master, these are merely titles given to me long ago. I've retired several times already, but with the current change in circumstances, the Marshal has called me back to duty, and I had no choice but to answer the call. Well, in the end, I'm to blame. Living such a long life naturally brings its share of disapproval.
It's an honor to meet you, General Huayan.
It's my honor to meet you, General Huayan.
Yo.
No need to be all formal. Today I'm just a guest on the Lawfu, the same as all of you.
7 times? God damn! Α, ναι. Με λέγανε, ο τύπος δεν μπορεί να πάρει σύνταξη ποτέ. Θα μείνει για πάντα σε ενεργό δράση.
So, these 3 are the ones you mentioned, Jingyuin? The heroes who helped you with the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Photobomb! Ποια έχει πάρει το σπαθί του Γιαντσίνγκ?
Indeed. There's Don Hung, March 7th, and him. Without their help, I'm afraid the Lawfu might not have easily overcome this crisis.
So, the Imbibiter Lune's reincarnation has returned to the Lawfu and will attend the war dance. I'd love to have a drink with you should the chance present itself.
You're more than welcome, General Huayan.
And this young friend is?
Yanqing, my apprentice. He remains by my side as my retainer due to his youth, which I hope will season him with experience. He will stand for the Lawfu's Cloud Knights in the upcoming war dance, ready to take on all kinds of challenges.
Great, great! It's a real treat to see so many talented young people around here today. Oh, I almost forgot. This is my apprentice, Yu Li.
It's you!
Oh, it's you. Hello.
Oh, you two already know each other? Guess we don't need any introductions then.
What a coincidence! I was afraid I'd have trouble finding this girl.
Oh? Now you've piqued my curiosity. Tell me, how did you two become acquainted?
Δολοφόνησε έναν εγκληματία και μου πήρε το σπαθί.
She helped me capture the escaped Borisin prisoners at the Starskip Haven. Allow me to express my gratitude for you. But when you left, you took my flying sword with you.
Your flying sword? Oh, so that's why I found a dagger in my bag. Turns out it's yours.
Yes, it is. Now that we've
Ω,
met again,
κύριε Γιαννάκη, καλησπέρα, καλησπέρα. Καλημέρα, καλημέρα. Τι κάνετε, πώς είστε?
Nope, that won't do.
Πρόσταρος, καλησπέρα. Καλημέρα μάλλον, πρόσταρε. Τι κάνεις, πώς είσαι?
Won't do?
You want your sword back, right? Well, you can't just take it back. On the Juming, when you lose your sword on the battlefield, you have to reclaim it on the battlefield.
Δεν το έχασε, του το πήρες. Είναι λίγο διαφορετικό το ένα με το άλλο. Να τα λέμε αυτά. Μέσα στη μάχη, χώθηκες, πήρες το kill, έκανες σκιές, πήρες το σπαθί του και έφυγες. Δηλαδή, είναι σαν να πάει να κάνεις, πώς το λένε, σαν να πάει να μαζέψεις λεφτά στο Warframe και να έχεις το μαλάκα του μάκι να σου παίρνει όλα τα νομίσματα. Στο Index. Τους κρυστάλλους.
As for this little sword, it was supposed to strike that escaped Borisin prisoner. But unfortunately,
Its owner's agitated state caused it to fly off like a
Έχουμε μια ώρα
kite
που
with a
ξύπνησε,
broken
έφτιαξε καφέ
string.
και
And it missed
έπαιξε
its
και ένα δύο
target.
τραγουδάκι στην κιθάρα. Άντε ρε, πολύ ωραίο. Έπιασε κιθαρίτσα πάλι, ωραίος.
By the way, if I hadn't caught it and helped it hit its mark, that Borson prisoner would have gotten away.
Είναι λίγο εκνευριστική η Γιούνλι. Μας τα κλέβει ο Μπάρο κάθε εβδομάδα δυστυχώς στο Warframe. Άσε και δεν έχω πάρει τίποτα, δεν έχω φαρμάρει τίποτα και να μπορέσω να δώσω στον Μπάρο. Καλημέρα, καλημέρα. Καλά είμαστε πρόσταρε. Εδώ παίζουμε λίγο Honkai να παίξω το story για να μπορέσω να κάνω δουλειά off stream.
Hold on a second, Lee. You took my sword without even asking, and now you're refusing to give it back?
So much for Lafu's sword masters.
What did you just say?
Uh-oh.
If you just stepped up and took your sword back from me fair and square, I would have totally respected you. But nope, you tried to play it down, expecting me to just hand it back to you like it's nothing. In front of everyone. With all due respect, you don't honor your sword. So you don't deserve it.
Η Γιούνλι, τι πίνει πρωί-πρωί. Δηλαδή, παιδιά το είδαμε όλοι, έτσι. Του το έκλεψε. Και όταν πήγε να το ζητήσει να το πάρει πίσω, σηκώθηκε και έφυγε γιατί βιαζόταν για να έρθει προφανώς στο Astrum Palace. Κοπελιά του το έφαγε στο σπαθί. Δεν έχεις δικαίωμα να το παίζεις έτσι γαμάτι.
Hasn't anyone told you that taking without asking is stealing? If you want to settle this with swords, fine. Let's have a one-on-one duel right now.
Και προφανώς δεν θα έχουν τώρα, θα το έχουν μετά.
Yang Qing.
Well, that's more like it. Just be careful. Because I'm not as easy to handle as the Borison.
You two, be quiet and apologize to Yan Qing.
Hey! Whose side are you on, Grandpa?
The right side!
I don't take sides.
I'm too old for that shit.
It's a small misunderstanding, and an apology would be too much. I've heard about the Zhu Ming's incredible swordplay and craftsmanship. Most notably, the legendary Flame Wheel Octet. Seeing Miss Yunli, who is among those ranks today, well, I must say, she definitely has that fiery edge.
She's a bitch.
Such grandiose names. Some folks love to spin these fancy titles, trying to set the Cloud Knights apart. Yunli is still just a young girl, a bit awkward and hot-tempered. So please forgive her if she's being rude.
Well, everyone, Elder Huayan and I have some business to discuss. For now, Yang Qing, why don't you entertain our guests and take Miss Yunli to the inn?
Ω, κύριε Πατουράκη, τι κάνετε, πώς είστε, πώς τα περνάτε, όλα καλά, όλα μυθυρά,
I'll find another chance to talk with you all. I'd like to express my gratitude to the Astral Express for helping the Law Fu during the crisis.
That's so kind of you. I mean, you've already thanked us so many times.
Please forgive me for coming at an inconvenient time.
You needn't apologize, General Huayan.
All right, Yunli. Take this opportunity to clear things up with Yan Qing.
Yeah. It's better to make friends than enemies. But I won't be heading to the inn just yet. I want to visit Lingsha. She just arrived in the Luofu and could use some help settling in.
Yang Qing, once you've helped our guests get settled, go to the Artisanship Commission for me. I've heard about the attack and the detainment of the IPC ship. Qingzu sent word that the
Πού είναι η κυρία
IPC
Πατουράκη,
members
πώς
are
είναι, πώς τα
protesting
περνάει.
and wish to have their cargo back. See if you can calm them down. Don't get aggressive. Just make it clear that the Xianzhou Luofu has no intention of violating their rights.
I'm on it.
Είναι σε κατασκήνωση. Αυτά είναι.
This is the report Qingzu just sent me. Let me take a look. Looks like the general has given me a tough challenge. He wants me to try and help put the IPC's mind at ease.
Okay.
Well, it's not exactly a test. As Cloud Knight officers, we not only learn the art of war and martial arts,
Φυσάει
but
έξω τόσο
also
πολύ.
occasionally have to handle
Μπράβο.
diplomatic disputes. It's just, you know, talking things out isn't as straightforward as duking it out with weapons on the battlefield. This is especially true when you're up against the IPC, with their non-stop corporate babble. Well, let's not worry about that for now. Shall I take you to the inn?
It is the Lawfu's honor to have you in attendance at the war dance.
Και λέει τώρα στο από πίσω αυτοί οι δύο πάνε κόντρα και θα γουστάρουν φάση my apprentice versus your apprentice. Καλά, την εγγονίζει τέλος πάντων. Θα σε σκίσει.
Yet, the fact that a simple martial arts ceremony has attracted esteemed generals from the Zhu Ming and the Yao Qing implies intentions beyond mere spectating. Might there be any specific instructions from the marshal?
You're overthinking it, Jingyuan. As I said, I'm here to broaden my granddaughter's horizons. I have no ulterior motives. However, I have no clue what the Yaoqing Arbiter General has in mind.
Ο παππούς είναι 6-star. Καλά είσαι,
Do
ξεκάθαρα.
you remember when you accepted this position? I told you that an Arbiter General's battlefield goes beyond the physical one. You'll need to lead and manage everything on the Xianzhou. The title of Arbiter General holds a weight far greater than its literal meaning. So many years have passed, and you've done well. However, longevity for the Xianzhou people can be a curse. Living too long means that every mistake you made will lurk in the shadows. And one day, they'll eventually catch up to you. The Marshal knows everything that has happened on the Lawfu.
Yeah, yeah.
Merlin's claw of the Yaoqing. She has come specifically for you. Speaking of which, why hasn't she arrived yet? They say the Merlin's claw strikes like lightning. Being late isn't her style.
That's not true, General Huayan. She's been here a while, but I'm sure you've heard of her unbridled nature.
As soon as she disembarked from the star skiff, she mentioned having something to attend to and simply disappeared.
Γυναίκες.
You must be the messengers from the Xianzhou Yaoqing, I assume.
We are Jiaoqiu and Moza, retainers of the Merlin's Claw. It's an honor to meet you in person, Arbiter Generals.
Μας παράτησε και έφυγε. Είναι η μετάφραση.
A guest who doesn't come to visit but sends a message instead. What does she mean? Tell me, what could be more important to her than coming here?
Αν είναι αυτό που θα φανταζόμουν, μάλλον έχει πάει να πάρει γλυκά.
Master heard about a spectacular view in Scale Gorge Waterscape. I believe she went there to enjoy it.
A spectacular view? Ha! Did you hear that, Jingyuan? This person is being sarcastic.
Πήγε ψώνια ξεκάθαρα.
Please do not misunderstand me, General Huayan. I was simply stating the truth. Master thought it would be inappropriate to keep you waiting, so she sent us here.
Θα μπορούσε να έρθει η ίδια, έτσι.
Once she's finished with admiring the scenery, she'll personally come and apologize to the both of you.
Drat. I forgot to ask Yun Li to return my sword.
Το ζήτησες και σου ήρθε άκυρο, dude.
Unacceptable. Every sword is precious to me. If it weren't for the General's interference, I would have taught that shameless girl a lesson in swordplay. By the way, I don't know if it's just me, but The general seemed a little reserved. Could it be because of Elder Yan's visit?
Reserved? Really?
Maybe I'm just overthinking things.
Εντάξει, δεν έχει άδικο, ήταν λίγο πιο συμμαζεμένος ο Τζιν Γιουάν.
No, you're not. When I entered the Palace of Astrum, I realized that the messenger from the Xianzhou Zhu Ming was actually the Arbiter General himself. So, the messenger from the Xianzhou Yao Qing must be the Merlin's Claw herself, I presume.
That's right.
Well, that's what makes this entire thing so unusual.
What's so unusual about it? They simply received an invitation from Jing Yuan, just like the crew, right?
The war dance is just a small festival. And now we have 2 Arbiter Generals from other Xianzhou ships here. I'm afraid they're here for something more. Maybe they've come to hold Jingyuan accountable for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Θα φάνε ξύλος και παράπειρα από Τζιν Γιουάν. Δεν ακουμπάτε Τζιν Γιουάν όσο είμαι εγώ και παίζω.
Hold him accountable? Come on, didn't the Law Fu fall victim to the disciples of Sanctus Medicus and the Antimatter Legion? Why would they blame the victim?
Danshu's rebellion and Ventilia's scheming are merely one side of the story to the other Arbiter Generals of the Alliance. Only a single piece of incontrovertible evidence remains.
Είναι 3 functions, οπότε πρέπει να βάλεις και τα χανομάκια.
Source of potential complications.
The Ambrosial Arbor.
Yes. It's undeniable that the plague mark, which was subdued by the Xianzhou Luofu, has resurfaced. But was it really a conspiracy instigated by the Antimatter Legion? Or does it indicate a traitorous intent from within the Luofu, implicating Jingyuan himself? Once the spark of suspicion is kindled, it proves hard to extinguish.
Είπε ο Τζαν Κίνγκ που έχει πάει το ξύλο της αρκούδας.
The general must have had that in mind when he invited us to attend the war dance.
What was I thinking? Seriously, here I was looking forward to a carefree and enjoyable trip.
Ναι, ναι.
But it seems wherever we go, drama is just around the corner.
Είπε η drama queen της ομάδας.
I was so excited. I thought those Arbiter Generals were just here to see the ceremony. By the way, I heard that an alchemist from the Juming diplomatic ship has arrived, and rumors say that she's to be the new Cauldron Master of the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu.
An alchemist from the Juming serving as the Cauldron Master on the Luofu? While it's not unheard of, the timing itself...
Thanks to your words, Mr. Dunn.
Ήρθε και το φαΐ, λέει.
Now I finally see the underlying tensions. The general is under tremendous pressure right now, but I was completely oblivious to his troubles. How naive of me.
Ναι, γιατί σιγά μες τα έλεγε.
Come on, don't think like that. Leave the adult matters to the adults. Even if you wanted to do something for the general, it's not like you can do anything. Did I say something wrong? Again?
Miss March is right. I don't have the skills to share the general's burdens at the moment. Still, I'll do my best to follow his instructions. Let's go. Once I've taken you to your accommodations, I need to go to the Artisanship Commission to handle the IPC's protest.
He looks like he has a lot on his mind. We can't just let him go alone. Why don't we accompany you to the Artisanship Commission?
This is too much trouble. While I appreciate your kindness, dealing with the IPC's workers could be tricky. I'm afraid this will cause trouble for the Express.
Ήρθε ο καφές, δυνατό,
No worries. We're pretty experienced in dealing with the IPC. You've heard of the 10 Stone Hearts?
Πλάκα, 10 Stone Hearts. Πρέπει να έχουν τσακωθεί με τις 3.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Are you being sarcastic?
Well, since you're willing to help, I won't decline your kindness.
Αλλά δεν μπορώ,
Let's head to the
πειράζω.
Artisanship Commission and meet them.
να επηρεάσεις τη Μάρτς είναι ό,τι καλύτερο. Hey! Oh.
Can I really reason with you Cianzhou people?
Mr.
I think I get it now. In your words, this is called looting a burning house, right?
But I am trying to reason with you here.
Η Χίκου δεν είναι τώρα στο τέτοιο. Γάμισε, δεν το είχα δει το animation.
Ugh, that toxic voice sounds familiar. Haven't I heard it before in Arum Alley?
Α, θα γελάσω. Κάτσε. Ποια είναι με την κιθάρα. Δεν παίζει κιθάρα. Γιατί την έκαψες τώρα.
I can handle your unreasonable ways. But straight up snatching IPC cargo, isn't that going a bit too far?
Just as I've said it many times already. Once we've inspected
Α, ναι. Μαλακές, λέω, ναι, έχεις δίκιο.
check, you can be on your way. Is there something wrong with your ears, or is it just your brain?
Εν τω μεταξύ. Sorry, παιδιά.
Loud and clear. I'm thinking clear, and my answer is crystal clear. Not a chance.
Λέω, ποια παίζει κιθάρα στο Honkai. Ο ένας, η Ξανθιά. Ο άλλος, μία με ηλεκτρική διατάξη. Η μαλακία ποια είναι. Με το Ξανθιά θυμήθηκα για ποια λέμε. Γιατί. Δεν θυμάμαι πώς λέγεται, θα τη δούμε σε λίγο.
Keep detaining my cargo, and I'll file a complaint directly with your general. You jerk! Who are you calling a dog? Wait, why are you here? You're staying on the Cianzhou, are you? What terrible luck! Wherever you go, disasters aren't far behind.
Aren't you the guest from the Astral Express? What brings you and Yanqing to the Artisanship Commission?
Τα Κάφκα, βρε. Η Κάφκα δεν έχει κόκκινα, μην με καίσεις, Κάφκα έχει μόβ. Μόβ μαλλιά δεν έχει Κάφκα.
Trouble caused by the IPC? I'd say it's caused by the Skyfaring Commission.
Looks like you've met this IPC worker before. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. I was sent here to deal with the IPC protest, Miss Shikue. What's going on here?
As you know, this IPC transport
Η
ship
Χίμεκο δεν έχει
was stopped by the
κιθάρα.
garrison and rescued
Τσάι
by the
έχει,
Huming's
καφέ,
diplomatic
τι είναι,
ship.
πάμε.
Then the Cloud Knights were instructed to bring it back to the dock for repairs. and
Κατά δούμε σε λίγο, περιμένετε να φύγουμε από εδώ.
And this is Mr. Scott, the person in charge of this transport ship.
So, you're Scott. I've heard him mention you. Weren't you kicked off the Lafu before? Why did you come back?
Είναι μαλάκας. Πήγαμε με την κιθάρα. Α, είναι η αγάπη σου αυτή με την κιθάρα και αυτή με τα κόκκινα μαλλιά. Η Χίμεκο, προφανώς.
What do you mean by snatched? I've told you a million times. It's a security check.
Then why did you bring the cargo to the Artisanship Commission? You even brought in some shady craftsmen. It's obvious you're trying to steal the IPC's patented technology.
Listen here. Firstly, the Skyfaring Commission detected dangerous items that could possibly be weapons in your cargo hold. That's why they called me here, to double check. Secondly, where the heck did you get the idea that I'm a shady craftsman?
Even if there are dangerous items, what do they have to do with you? It's not even being shipped to the Lafu. We'll just fix the ship and be on our way. We won't unload our cargo here.
But you'll have to stay in the port for several days before your ship is repaired and you can take off again. How can we just leave unchecked items sitting here?
I understand, but we don't need to disassemble the cargo if it's just a security check, right?
In most cases, we don't. However,
Serval,
our scans
HD,
discovered that the cargo doesn't only
Digamos.
contain machinery, but also some substance that resembles biological tissue.
Biological tissue? Does this crate contain living things?
I'm afraid we'll need to wait for the Alchemy Commission for further confirmation. In any case, according to our regulations, we need to unseal one of the crates for further examination. But this IPC specialist has been hindering us on the grounds of patent secrecy.
The Alliance's regulations on biological products are very strict. Without further inspection, there is no way for the Skyfaring Commission to release the cargo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
If anyone lays a finger on that shipment, they'll have me to deal with. It doesn't matter if it's mechanical or biological. It's none of your business. I'm filing a complaint against the Skyfaring Commission's ridiculous regulations.
Να μιλήσω.
Mr. Scott seems stubborn and difficult to persuade. Honestly, I really don't want to have a vicious confrontation with the IPC.
Bro.
I heard how you helped Aramali. The IPC representative back then was Mr. Scott, right? Since you've dealt with him before, it looks like I'll have to rely on you again.
What are you guys whispering about over there? Just hurry up and give us back our cargo.
Let me. Αρχικά παίρνουμε την κατάλληλη μορφή. Επίσης, ναι, τώρα που το θυμήθηκα. Α, δεν την έχω την κάφκα, μαλακία. Την έχω ντύσει. Κομπλέ, ντυμένη την έχω. Έλα ρε. Τώρα ντύνω τη τέτοια, τη χοχό. Έχω δουλίτσα ακόμα για τη χοχό. Επίσης, μ' αρέσει απίστευτα και η Χάνια. Είναι λίγο μεταξύ του σοβαρού, του χαμένου και του scatterbrained. Αλλά είναι, δεν ξέρω, πολύ cute. Να δω και σερβάλ. Δεν έχω χάφταρα. Τύχου. Άντε και Χίμεκο. Εν τω μεταξύ στη Χίμεκο είμαι κολόφαρτος και μου έχει κάτσει και το light cone της. At the end of the negotiation, if your morale is higher than your opponent, it's considered a successful negotiation. Aha. Okay. In negotiation, if either party morale drops to 0, the negotiation ends. Okay.
As I recall, this guy won't listen to reason and can only be persuaded with intimidation. But he does seem to follow rules to some extent. Let's use that against him.
Speaking of regulations, we have our own laws and regulations too. According to Article 4 of the Cienjo Alliance IPC Trade Consensus, the Alliance and IPC shall never infringe on each other's intellectual property rights.
Ναι, μαζί σου.
The Alliance can sign a non-disclosure agreement with you. That way, you won't have to worry about any infringements, right?
We can sign a mutually acceptable non-disclosure agreement in accordance with the IPC's rules.
Well, that makes sense, but how can we trust you to honor the terms? Even if we set aside the secrecy of intellectual property, these prototypes built by the Intelligentsia Guild are incredibly valuable, beyond your wildest imagination. If anything goes wrong, you won't be able to pay for it even with your lives.
Don't underestimate Cienjo technology. Even if they need to dismantle your cargo, the Artisanship Commission can easily put it back together.
Yeah, go ahead and brag about their skills. After all,
Ah,
you're
δεν πήγα
the
λάθος.
negotiator they hired. But I'm different. I'm an IPC member, and my fleet has accepted this transportation order. Naturally, I need to be responsible for the integrity of every piece of cargo. Besides, the cargo on this transport vessel belongs to the Intelligentsia Guild. If you want to inspect the cargo, shouldn't you at least call in a member of the Intelligentsia Guild to be present?
Since the Intelligentsia Guild entrusted the cargo to the IPC for transportation, it's the IPC's responsibility to ensure its safety, right? Why would you need a member of the Intelligentsia Guild to be present?
Let me tell you something. As stated in Article 17 of the IPC's Building Material Logistics Department Transport Agreement Law, subsequent to the dispatch of goods and during their transit, all risks, save for those pertaining to the transportation safety, shall be the sole liability of the consignor. Well, only protect the integrity of the goods and prevent anyone with ill intentions from getting their hands on them, for example. As for whether the cargo itself poses a security threat to the destination, that's not our responsibility. It appears we have reached an area beyond your expertise, doesn't it? The complexity of legal studies are indeed challenging. We both need to follow the regulations, because that's how the IPC and the Cienjo operate, right? As an IPC worker, I have to abide by its regulations. If I make an exception and allow you to inspect the cargo, it'll spell disaster for me.
I understand that you're trying to stick to the IPC regulations, and that's commendable, Mr. Scott. But what you fail to see is that this argument is tarnishing the IPC's reputation on the Cienjo. If this conflict with the Skyfaring Commission escalates, they won't just make things difficult for your business, but it'll also have an impact on your career down the line.
Of course, I never wanted conflict with the Cienjo. Like I said, all I wanted was to retrieve the cargo and be done with it, but they just refused to let us go. Well, you guys sure know how to argue your case. Fine, I'll allow you to do the security inspection. It's just that, I need some time to sort things out. This is a big deal. Let me talk to headquarters first.
So, Mr. Scott, are you just stalling for time and planning to leave the Cienjo as soon as your ship is repaired?
Τον έπιασε για τσίνκ.
Well, IPC staff are free to come and go, as long as they don't break any laws.
Yeah, you've got some insight there. Who are you again?
Man, η Arbiter.
Allow me to
Όχι
introduce
Arbiter.
myself. I'm
Arbiter
Licha,
Commander, δεν είναι.
Cauldron Master and head of the Alchemy Commission on the Lawfu.
Could she be?
She's the new Cauldron Master assigned here from the Cienjo Juming.
Γιατί δεν έχει έτσι στην κόκκινα και γιατί έχει έλθει πια.
Commission about cargo containing samples of unknown organisms. It said they needed help from the Alchemy Commission. I had nothing better to do, so I came myself. It's fine, Mr. Scott. If you really don't want your cargo to be inspected, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? How can you say that?
Και έρχεται τη
Why
σφαλιάρα.
are you being so nice all of a sudden? Well, since you're not going to check it, I'll take this crate and be on my way. Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah, sure. Why should I object? Not only this sample, but all the goods on the transport ship are yours to keep. Like I said, we won't.
But you won't be able to leave Lawfu.
Wait a minute!
Well, that's more like it. If only the young displayed a more reasonable attitude, we could have sidestepped that altercation just now. Our ship will leave in a few days once the engines are repaired.
Your ship can leave whenever you want, but I'm afraid I can't do the same. with your
Κατάλαβα. Οπ, τι έγινε.
According to the import and export regulation signed between the Xianzhou and IPC, all biological shipments can only leave the port when they have confirmed to be of no threat, or when all biological activity expires. Since we can't determine if your shipment is safe for the environment, I guess we'll have to wait for its biological activity to expire. Let me check the previous cases. Normally, it'll only take around 47 star calendar years.
Only 47 years?
Why so surprised? You're still young and full of energy. I'm pretty sure you'll live a few more decades. Have some confidence in yourself.
Α, πολύ μ' αρέσει η Λίνξα. Ναι, μα το είπα, τα αυτιά της είναι εξωτικένια.
Words are dripping with sarcasm. While you may not care about time, I do. I'll be demanding double compensation
Ναι,
from the
καλή
Sky
τύχη.
Commission for every minute wasted.
Sure thing, Mr. Scott. You seem pretty confident that your career and life will last long enough to witness this victory unfold.
Τον έχει βάλει σε μία γωνία και του σκάει μπουκέτα όπου βρει.
Step aside, guys. Let them do the inspection.
But, Mr. Scott...
Come on, we're already in enough trouble. Just let them do the security inspection. And if needed, I can always grovel before the Intelligentsia Guild later. I'm just using my head for what it's apparently good for, right?
Άντε, καλά, μήνυμα αρχίδι τώρα.
Well, honestly, at least you're not as annoying as that woman.
And you're still as annoying as ever.
Οπ, μαλάκα, δεν έχει πει κουβέντα. Δεν έχει πει κουβέντα έξω από cutscene. Τώρα μίλησε. Τόσο μισή το Σκοτ.
Is this the IPC product?
Listen up. Any damages caused by inspections will be filed with the IPC.
What?
Turn it off.
What?
Well, how unexpected. That was a surprise.
Συγγνώμη, παίρνουν τους λυκάνθρωπους, τα kobolds αυτά και τα μετατρέπουν σε μηχανές σαν του ολοόφου.
Sam, awaiting orders.
Σαμ, σε εκείνα ένα κέσπλε.
Don't worry, it's just a
Firefly until everything burns to ashes! Fight to live!
I have something for you.
Armor damaged. Set the seas ablaze!
Oh.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
You won't get away.
You don't look so good.
Another journey begins, destined for oblivion.
Firefly to fight to live!
Time for an overhaul.
Damage sustained. Beast form.
Beast form.
Attack detected.
Time to what's in your prescription?
Much obliged.
These are abnormal.
I have something for you.
Detecting damage.
Still waters of oblivion.
Πρώτα θα το πω αυτά, αλλά οι κανόνες θα πρέπει να είναι διαφορετικοί για δύο διαφορετικά είδη που έχουν διαφορετικά lifespan. Αλλιώς τα long lived θα νικάγανε πάντα. Ναι, μαζί σου, αλλά. Ναι, έχει ρε λυξμακή. Ναι, αλλά. Θα πω εγώ. Δεν κάνεις κόντρα με τον οποιονδήποτε representative. Κάνεις κόντρα με την εκάστοτε εταιρεία. Οπότε είναι Λουόφου, ωραία, versus Intelligentsia Guild. Σε λαβή. Παντού υπάρχουν long-lived species.
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
That's a very speed. Έλα εδώ.
Like firefly until everything burns to ashes! Sets the seas ablaze!
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
You won't get away.
Destined for oblivion.
I have something for you.
Much
Πάμε να γίνει το
obliged.
kill.
On the still waters of oblivion.
Lacerate. Damage.
Much obliged.
Armor damaged.
Free will, or was it destined for oblivion?
Shutting.
Were you seriously planning to leave this stuff unchecked at the dock for days? That's way too dangerous.
I had no idea about it.
Ω, κύριε Σαλόνικα, καλημέρα, καλημέρα. Με αυτό ενεργοποιήθηκε η άμυνα της κατά.
But seriously, I don't know why that thing suddenly started moving. I swear on the Amber Lord.
Enough. Miss Shikwe, please escort our IPC guest to the Skyfaring Commission.
I'm on it. Please follow me, Mr. Scott.
Είσαι μαλάκας, Mr. Scott.
Gentlemen, our preliminary inspection shows that there is indeed hidden biological tissues inside. Just like the craftsman feared. I can't even tell if it's ingenium or biological in nature.
The core of this device is what they call wetware in industry slang. To put it simply, this machine operates with a kind of biological nerve as its control center.
I'll take some samples for the alchemist to analyze and figure out where the biological tissue comes from.
Τα Μπόρισιν, πώς λεγόντουσαν.
Why would the Intelligentsia Guild use such unethical technology? Perhaps they're trying to create a new weapon?
Whatever the reason is, it's probably why the Borisin attacked the ship. No wonder the IPC were trying to obstruct our inspection. I'll contact the Ten Lords Commission and ask the judges to come and give their final verdict on this. According to our rules, all prisoners and weapons involving dangerous creatures must be taken to the shackling prison for further sentencing. After all, it's the safest place on the Luofu. As for you, Mr. Craftsman, please go with the Cloud Knights and explain the situation to the judge. I had a feeling that the IPC members would cause trouble, but I didn't think they'd be this tricky. Thanks for your help, Miss Linksha.
Έπαιξε μπαλίτσα Λίνξα, παιδιά, όχι μαλακίες.
Your sword skills were impressive. Taking down that big guy. I thought the general's retainers were all burly martial masters. I didn't expect Yenching to be so...
Λοιπόν, το story το οποίο αντιμετωπίζουμε τώρα είναι ότι αφού τελειώσαμε με το πενακόνι, ωραία, έρχεται ο Τζιν Γιουάν και μας λέει, παιδιά, έρχεται ένα ωραίο ιβεντάκι στο Λουόφου, ελάτε να ράξουμε και να παρακολουθήσετε το φεστιβάλ. Το φεστιβάλ πολεμικών τεχνών. Εμείς ερχόμαστε εδώ πέρα, λέμε, προφανώς πήγε η Μάρις και λέγε, «Α, θα πάμε διακοπές, θα ξεκουραστούμε επιτέλους λιγάκι, τι καλά ζήτω». Και όπως βλέπετε δεν έχουν πεγάλει τα πράγματα. Γιατί, technically, ένα guild τέλος πάντων, κάποιοι επιστήμονες, από ό,τι φαίνεται προσπαθούν να δημιουργήσουν μία μικρή έκδοση του Robocop χρησιμοποιώντας λικανθρώπους. Το οποίο δεν έχει πάει πάρα πολύ καλά και με το που κάνει ένα κλακ κλακ, είναι κανείς εκεί μέσα, ξύμνησε και άρχισε να παίζει φαλιάρες. Εδώ απάντα εκεί μήπως χτυπήσει γκομενάκι ο κοντός. Βρε κακιασμένε.
Can't argue with that.
Oh!
As for you, you must be the guests from the Astral Express, right? Saving the Lafu from that crisis. It's so impressive.
It wasn't a big deal. Really.
It's still early. So why don't we get some tea at the Alchemy Commission? We can discuss your suggestions for revitalizing.
Ανδρέα, δεν έχω ιδέα.
I'd be happy to
Πατουράκι, έχεις
accept
δίκιο,
the
ήταν
invitation.
καλή ιδέα. Μπας και κάτσει
You
τίποτα
three
στο
are coming too, right?
Yang Ching. Λοιπόν, η Lynx για κάποιο λόγο μου αρέσει. Είναι λίγο χαμένο καθαρματάκι, αλλά είναι υπέρ μας χαμένο καθαρματάκι, οπότε δεν θα κάνω παράπονο. Επίσης τι έχω, Apocalyptic Shadow Reward και Clocky Statue. Καλά. Clocky Statue χειστήκαμε.
I'm here to pay my respects to the new cauldron.
All these years, and the view at the Alchemy Commission hasn't changed a bit. The tides come and go, but the ancient sea remains the same. For us Vidyadhara, there's nothing more nostalgic than our homeland.
You're a Lofu native, Miss Lingsha?
Yes, I grew up here, listening to the sound of waves while researching prescriptions with my mentors and peers at the Alchemy Commission. It's kind of sad, isn't it? Everything changes but somehow remains familiar. Just like you, Don Hung, I traveled far from home, and now I've returned. Seeing the familiar scenery brings back a hint of nostalgia.
The view here would be even better without the ambrosial arbor.
Oh, really? I think that towering tree looks pretty impressive.
Even if it's impressive, it's a plague mark. The Xianzhou have been fighting abominations for thousands of years. And now that the ambrosial arbor has been reborn, it's only natural for everyone to feel uneasy.
Well, once a seed is planted, no matter how long it takes, it'll eventually sprout and bear fruit. In my humble opinion, the rebirth of the ambrosial arbor and the resurgence of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were inevitable. The seed was already planted when the ancestors of the Xianzhou sought immortality.
Δεν ξέρω, το voice over της Lynx είτε υποδηλώνει ότι είναι αρκετά awkward στη συνομιλία ή απλά δεν το έχουν κάνει καλό. Θεωρητικά είναι 14-15 ο Yang Ching. Μπορούμε να πούμε ότι είναι ένα κοντό παιδί.
My bad. Well, since you went through the entire ambrosial arbor crisis firsthand, Dan Hung and Lieutenant Yenching, I'd like to discuss something with you.
What would you like to discuss, Miss Lingsha?
I was lucky enough to be chosen by the Alliance to come in and clean up all the old grime in the Alchemy Commission.
Κάποια στιγμή Μάκη δεν έχει ψηλώσει ακόμα, άρα παραμένει κοντός.
Riddled with problems and has reached a point where fixing it seems impossible. I'm looking to remedy this problem, but was wondering if you could provide any insights.
Well, even though I'm a Vidyadharan like you, I'm an outsider, just like my companions here. I can't really say much about a remedy, but I do have a piece of advice, Miss Lingsha. The Vidyadhara and the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu have always been intricately connected. If you cannot distance yourself from these ties, Miss Lingsha,
Ο Πατουράκης, my point is, για 14χρονος, 15χρονος είναι κοντός.
Quite challenging.
I may not know about politics, but I do know that the disciples of Sanctus Medicus have been operating within the Alchemy Commission for years. If you're determined to root them out, maybe you should discuss it with the General.
I see. Thank you for your valuable insights. While the Lux Arrow from the Rainbow possesses unparalleled power to sever the ambrosial arbor, it can't sever mortals' desire to prolong their existence. Just like how the Cloud Knights can eliminate the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, but are unable to calm the hearts and minds of the people within the Alchemy Commission. Our Xianzhou forebears knew this well, and that's why they entrusted the duty of guarding the roots of the arbor to the Vidyadhara. However, the Vidyadhara are still only mortal beings. 30 years ago, my mentor served as Alchemy Commission's Cauldron Master. She recognized the emerging undercurrents and sought to cleanse the source of the disturbance. Unfortunately, even though she was skilled in the art of healing, she didn't understand the human heart or how to eliminate the sickness lurking within the depths of the Alchemy Commission. In the end, she was framed and exiled to the Juming. I was also implicated and had to leave the Luofu. And guess who arbitrated the case and handed down the sentence? None other than General Jing Yuan himself.
What?
You heard it right. The ones responsible for the corruption in the Alchemy Commission are not just the remnants of the disciples of Sanctus Medicus, but even the Divine Foresight himself. Alas, why is your face turning pale, Yanqing? Don't worry about it. I understand that when someone holds a position of power, they may sometimes have to make tough decisions. I won't hold any personal grudges against him. Besides, at our age, holding personal grudges is a luxury we can't afford.
Lingsha, you're back! I've been waiting ages for you.
Ach, Θεέ μου.
Yunli, why aren't you with your grandpa? What brings you to the Alchemy Commission?
Πώς άλλαξε η φωνή
Let's
της.
take this opportunity to introduce you to Yanqing.
What a small world.
Κυριολεκτικά είστε πάνω σε ληστημόπλια.
You stole my sword. Give it back.
I see. Let's skip the introduction.
Σκατά.
then.
Why do I keep bumping into you? Are you stalking me or something?
Of course not. Unlike you, Miss Yunli, I have important things to take care of. You, on the other hand, seem to have all the time in the world to wander around without returning my sword.
Grandpa used to say that a sword reflects its master. I talked to your sword, and it told me that you've been distracted. You hesitate when you should strike, and you struggle to stay calm when your sword is unsheathed. Now that I see you again, I realize your sword was right. It wasn't me who took your sword. It was you who lost focus.
Do you really expect me to believe that nonsense? I've been taking it easy on you because you're a guest from the Juming. But you're not taking the hint. Don't people from the Juming know you're supposed to return what you've borrowed?
Just look at this flying sword. Even if I gave it back to you now, it'd just be taken away again in a few hours. You know the Cloud Knight saying, a Cloud Knight must never let slip their weapon.
Ο τύπος τα πετάει! Είναι το ability του!
I can give it back to you now, but on the battlefield, that's a whole different story. Your flying sword.
It's a fucking flying sword!
I have to give it back because I'll take it back myself.
Between these two, who do you think is tougher, Dan Heng? Don't get me wrong. I'm just curious.
Get ready to separate them.
It is my first day at the Alchemy Commission. A brawl is definitely not how I imagine celebrating it.
Dead Guy Walked. Diablo 4 πότε?
Well,
Η αλήθεια δεν ξέρω κατά πόσο θα μπορέσω να παίξω Diablo 4 γιατί λόγω του περιορισμένου χρόνου που έχουμε για το κανάλι έχουμε ήδη βρει τα επόμενα παιχνίδια που θα παίξουμε, plus έχω να παίξω κανένα χρόνο. Επίσης, καλημέρα, Dead Guy.
Seems like my predecessors left quite a mess. So, if you two want to determine who's better, why not focus on them instead of each other?
Παίζει μπαλίτσα η Λίνξα.
Clearing out some abominations? Sounds boring.
It's the Cloud Knight's duty to eliminate those abominations. You don't have to ask me twice, Miss Lingsha. I'll help you get rid of them.
Oh, you think you're the only one who knows how to behave? If Lingsha needs anything, I'll gladly draw my sword and help her out. It's so heartwarming to see both of you being so sweet and caring. So then, shall we get going?
Έχεις τη Yun Li που είναι μια ξεκάθαρη σκύλα και μισή και έχεις τη Λίνξα η οποία είναι μεγάλο κάθαρμα, μεγάλο σύχαμα. Αλλά είναι πολύ ευχάριστο σύχαμα, δηλαδή τη μία θέλω να την δείρω. Την άλλη δεν της έχω εμπιστοσύνη για το πώς θα με κοντρολάρει. Αλλά ρε φίλε, έχει επικοινωνία. Το μικρό θες να το πας, να το χτυπάς στον τοίχο. Θα μου πεις γιατί ο Yang Chin είναι καλύτερος. Βελτιώνεται. Αυτόν ήθελα να με το χτυπήσουμε όταν ήρθαμε στο Λόφου. Έτσι. Άφησε πίσω το Honkai 7 Days Die και Minecraft και πήγαμε για Diablo 4. What? Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 πότε? Ποτέ. Ναι, αυτό, μαλάκα. Ο τύπος πολέμαγε. Η άλλη του κάνει κοιές, του παίρνει το σπαθί στον αέρα, φεύγει και λέει μα εγώ δεν το πήρα, εσύ ας το έξες. Dude, μπήκε στη μέση της επίθεσης του. What the fuck. Καλά.
Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were eradicated,
Sanctus Medicus.
experimental abominations have been festering here.
Duh.
If you want a contest, I'll be the referee. The one who kills the most abominations within an hour wins. Lingsha, as always, you're still an expert in making unpaid work sound so noble and grand.
Έτσι, μαλάκα. Πόσο αλήθεια.
Little Yunli. While you desire to compete against each other, I don't want to
Γεια
see
σου, γεια σου, να.
That's really thoughtful of you, Cauldron Master.
So, are you both ready?
Get set. Hi.
Ugh. Looks like my predecessors left quite a mess. Let me say it again. The one who kills the most abominations within an hour wins. Be careful when you draw your swords, and make sure you don't hurt each other. Can we start now, Lingsha?
How many can you block?
Bitch. Then I was defeated by okay. Άρα πρέπει να είμαι κύριος και να βοηθήσω τέτοιο.
The sword is like water. It cannot remain still.
Σταμάτα, για σένα υπολογίζω πλάκα.
Need a doctor?
Like fire until everything burns to ashes! Set the seas ablaze! I didn't expect someone who can't even hold on to a sword to actually have some skill.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you still... Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Όπα ρε, που έκανες και return from the past. The best. Σιγά μην την αφήσω να πάρει εύκολα πόντο. Είσαι χαμένη. Εκνευρίστηκα. Να πάμε λίγο.
You won't get away.
A one-time enemy.
Ωραίο συνδυασμό πάντως κάνει η Firefly με τη Χίμεκο. Έτσι το είχα. Κάτσε να μαζέψουμε κανένα ποντάκι. Έσβησε. Τουρουρουρου. Όχι!
Practice is over. Swords descend.
You don't look so good.
Detonate.
Time for an overhaul.
Ωραία. Πάμε εδώ.
Perhaps you still don't understand. Humanity never conceals its desire to control the heavens, and I'm no exception.
Καλά, προφανώς, αν μου κάνεις μία επίθεση, η οποία επίθεση αυτή και μόνο κάνει super AOE και θέλει να κόψει κόλλους, εχεστήκαμε. It's cheating!
You won't get away.
Like fire until everything burns to ashes!
Και κάπου εδώ θέλουμε και αυτό.
What's in your prescription?
I can breathe easy again. Strike with heart.
Αυτός.
You've got style with those moves, but you're not striking where it counts. It's such a shame to see you misuse your sword like that.
Let me tend your wounds.
Bladed flight. You won't get away.
I will claim victory for myself. Fight to live! I will claim victory for myself.
Time for swordplay.
Και σβήνει η μπαταρία.
Strike with heart.
You don't look so good.
Practice is over. Swords descend.
Lead through clouds! See? I won. Your technique was all over the place, and you relied too much on speed. Is this really all the Cloud Knights of the Lawfu can muster? So disappointing.
All you did was chop down a few monsters. Don't get carried away with yourself.
Oh. Well, then I'll give you a chance. Defeat me or hand over all your swords.
If you're trying to pick a fight, just ask, because I'm ready for you.
Well fought, my young friends. However, both of
The
you
fuck
have
just happened?
shortcomings. One of you focuses on dodging and weaving, while the other relies on brute strength, trying to take down targets with a single strike.
Who are you?
Me? I'm just a patient seeking medicine from the Alchemy Commission. A passerby, if you will. I thought I'd see my fill of impressive fights during the war dance. Yet here I am, able to witness a remarkable fight at the Alchemy Commission, of all places. Well, the Lawfu is never short of surprises. However, I have a small suggestion for you. Why don't you settle this dispute fair and square in the war dance's ring? That way, you can resolve your differences with a proper duel and put your grudges behind you.
Grudges? No, not at all. Yunli and I, we were just sparring.
Sparring? You summoned your flying swords and she swung her sword with full strength. No grudges between you. I don't believe it.
Opa?
Aha! What brings you here, Lady Fei Xiao? Have you finished your health consultation with the Dragon Lady?
Fei Xiao? Grandpa always talks about you. Could it be that you're...
Dragon's Claw.
The Merlin's Claw of the
Baron's
Xianzhou
Claw,
Yao
sorry.
Qing?
Looks like I'm quite famous on the Xianzhou Lawfu, too.
Of course. Everyone has heard of the great general. Known to all, and unbeknown to none.
Great General? Isn't that title a bit too narcissistic? I don't like it. Ooh, I heard there's a dozing general on the Lawfu, so I came up with a humble nickname for myself. The Lacking General. Lacking in worries, regrets, and rivals. Sounds much better, right?
Yeah, that's a befitting title that sounds both humble and impressive. Now that the sparring session is over, Yanqing and Yunli, shouldn't you politely thank General Fei Xiao for her guidance and bury the hatchet?
Just пише despacito.
Here's your sword.
Pues no.
Keep it safe. Or it might get taken away again. By the way, we haven't settled the score yet. I'll defeat you fair and square next time we fight.
This is how she apologizes? Now that I finally got my sword back, I should report to the seat of divine foresight. I'll take my leave, General Fei Xiao. Oh, by the way, Miss Linksha, if you've got some free time, I'd like to invite you to the seat of divine foresight for a chat with General Jingyuan. I think there's more to those personal grudges you mentioned earlier.
Καλά, η τύψη απλά έπαιρνε
Thanks
παιδιά.
for stepping in, General Fei Xiao.
Σταματήσει.
Otherwise, I'd have had to knock them out with my incense.
Not at all. Just doing what you asked. How about we call it even as payment for the healer lady's consultation?
Sorry, but even a general needs to pay their bills.
We don't do credit here. And let's not forget, you'd have been waiting decades for a chance to see the Dragon Lady if it weren't for me.
Well, you can always send the bill to the seat of divine foresight and say it's for mentoring those kids. After all, it was quite the effort splitting them up. I nearly had to get tough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to find a spot and get some fresh air.
Dragon Lady, δεν θέλω να στεναχωρήσω. Είναι μαζί μας η Dragon Lady. Έτσι. Να το ξέρεις. Δηλαδή, μπορείτε να μιλήσετε.
Back already? You've met with Jing Yuan and wandered around for a few hours. So, what do you think?
It appears that the Divine Foresight is using this war dance as a show of strength to convince everyone that the Luofu is prospering after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis.
But... I know you're going to say but, right?
But the influx of people attending the war dance is like a breeding ground for disorder and rumors. One wrong move, and the Luofu could be in a world of chaos.
The Cloud Knights on the streets remain vigilant, so at the very least, General Jing Yuan is aware of this. As for other matters, I'm unable to say.
Όμως δεν έχει λίγο
I'd prefer to be excused from future meetings with
το essence
generals.
του wealth.
I'm just a military healer. And now all of a sudden I'm thrust onto the center stage having cordial chats with two generals?
My work doesn't lend itself to being in the limelight either.
Just stop whining. At least you're in one piece, right? Before getting in touch with General Jing Yuan, I wanted to put aside my assumptions and see his momentum. That includes the overall bearing of the Cloud Knights on the street, what people are saying, and how those close to him behave.
The might of an army dwells not within its pawns, but within the force of its collective momentum. Recognizing this fact reveals the true measure of power. Thanks for enlightening me, General.
A perfectly clear statement turned confusing thanks to your translation. You made me lose where I was now. Anyway, this is how I operate in battle, so you might as well get used to it.
Are you treating General Jingyuan as your enemy?
The longest-serving general of the Xianzhou Luofu. Do you think he'd have only a few enemies?
By the way, General, you met the healer lady, yes? Could you show me the medicine she prescribed you?
Well, the healer lady couldn't do anything about my condition. She just told me to enjoy some tasty food.
So not even the famed healer lady could help? Don't worry. I'll fulfill my promise and find a way to cure you. Actually, I've found some leads.
Well, life and death, Jiao Chou. It's all predetermined. Upon starting my military career, I made a pledge that the rest of my life would be dedicated to being the Xianzhou spearhead, hunting down the abominations of abundance till the end of my days.
Oh. Yeah?
As long as I can fulfill that deep-seated desire, I don't care how long I live. You asked if I view General Jing Yuan as my enemy. No. My real enemy has always been myself.
Enjoy some tasty food. So, what's for dinner tonight?
Ο Mouse πραγματικά είναι wealth φάση.
You really know how to read the room, don't you?
Καλά έπαιξε. Πολύ καλά έπαιξε.
Figure it out for yourselves. I'm due to catch up with an old war friend I've not seen for quite a long time.
Ναι, αυτό με τις ουρές τα τέτοια.
Was that the Yaoqing general who just dropped in out of nowhere? Oh, she's so awesome. I mean, when Yun Li swung that massive sword, she just casually blocked her attack with ease.
Mine too.
Yeah. But to go up against Yun Li is quite impressive, you know? That aura of heroism and grace. It almost makes me want to learn Xianzhou swordplay. You think so too, right?
I agree. General Fei Xiao is indeed impressive.
I was talking about Yenqing, actually.
Thanks for the kind words,
Η
Miss
Yukong
March.
δεν έχει ουρά.
The war dance is coming up, and I've been chosen to represent the Cloud Knights in the ceremony. I've had my fair share of defeats.
Και ο άλλος ήταν Battle Medic. Battlefield Medic.
Seeing General Fei Xiao's skills today has made me feel a bit uneasy again.
Don't underestimate yourself. After all, generals won't fight
Battlefield Medic. Δεν είναι ότι κάθεται εκτός Battlefield, είναι μέσα στο Battlefield. Οπότε έχει πάρει μια μικρή εκπαίδευση στρατιωτική.
Took on me and Blade, putting life and death aside. With that mindset, you can prevail against most challengers.
I see. Thanks for the advice, Master Danheng. By the way, now that today's events are over, General Jingyuan wants to invite all of you to the Seat of Divine Foresight. He has something important to discuss.
I bet it's about how to deal with the generals from the Yaoqing and the Juming.
I really don't want to get caught up in grown-up games so soon. I just...
Θα μπορούσε να είναι hidden ουρά. Δηλαδή να είσαι μέσα σε melee fights και να έχεις την ουρά. Έχει πολλά αρνητικά. Ειδικά όταν είναι fluffy και δεν είναι controllable. Επίσης, έχει μείνει πολύ ακόμα, Μάκη, για το story. Έχει ακόμα, ωραία. Οπότε λοιπόν, YouTube, θα αφήσουμε κάπου εδώ το βίντεο για να μπορέσουμε να ξαναξεκινήσουμε το recording και να συνεχίσουμε με το Honkai, να τελειώσουμε λιγάκι το τέτοιο. Έχεις απόλυτο δίκιο, Θείο. Καλημέρα, Θείο. Καλησπέρα, Θείο. Τι κάνει, Θείο? Πώς είσαι, Θείο? Χαίρομαι, Θείο. Κλείνουμε το βίντεο. Γεια σου, YouTube. Τα λέμε αργότερα.